Where have all the biblical miracles gone? Dear friends, as we read through the book of Shemot, we encounter the wondrous signs which God had Moshe do to impress himself of the seriousness of his mission, to impress the Israelites that God really was coming to redeem them, to impress upon the Pharaoh that it was time to let the Jews go out for a 3-day holiday. And the 10 plagues then, as Pharaoh had refused to let them go. The miracles at the Sea of Reeds, where the Egyptian army drowned, the miracles of the revelation at Sinai, and all the other miracles which continue throughout the book of Shemot, as well as throughout the Torah. As the Torah comes to an end, however, and especially after the period of the prophets, we wonder, where have the biblical miracles gone? We don't encounter them throughout history. Why not? Perhaps the answer may be found in our Parsha. In our Parsha, God tells Moshe, Hinei anochi sholeach malach lefanecha. Behold, I send an angel before you to protect you on the way and to bring you to the place which I have promised. I've made ready. Beware of him, hearken to his voice. Do not rebel against him, for he will not forgive your willful sin, for my name is within him. For if you hearken to his voice and carry out all that I shall speak, then I shall be the enemy of your enemies and persecute your persecutors. My angel shall go before you and bring you to the Amorite, the Hittite, the Perizzite, the Canaanite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite, and I will annihilate them. Dear friends, this prophecy is kind of out of context. We've just gone through, in Parshat Mishpatim, a myriad of ritual, civil, criminal law. And suddenly, out of the blue, God speaks about this angel. What is this about? According to Rashi, this is a text which should be compared to a parallel text in Parshat Ki Tisa. There, God also speaks about an angel which he shall send. V'shalachti lefanecha malach. I shall send an angel ahead of you, and I shall drive out the Canaanite, the Amorite, the Hittite, the Perizzite, and the Hivite, and the Jebusites. And so, according to Rashi, in Parshas Mishpatim, before the sin of the golden calf, God already tells Moshe that at the time will soon come that he shall not remain in the midst of the people and will send an angel instead. That is not satisfactory to a number of our other commentators. After all, it is anachronistic. Our ancestors had free will. They could have chosen not to sin with the golden calf, and then the story wouldn't have happened. So why would God already tell Moshe before the events that an angel will come and lead them and not God himself? For Ramban and Rashbam, the angel we're talking about is not active throughout the period of the desert wanderings. In fact, not just according to Ramban and Rashbam, according to Rashi too, because Moshe convinced God to return in their midst. So what is it about if not about the desert wandering? The answer of Ramban and Rashbam is that it relates to the time of Moshe's successor, Yeshua. As Yeshua is outside the city of Jericho, contemplating how to proceed, a man appears before him. And he asks him, Halanu ata im letzarenu, are you with us? Are you against us? And the man responds to him, he is Sar Tzeva Hashem, he's not a man, he's an angel, captain of the heavenly armies of God. And he adds, Ata Vati, now I have come. Now I have come, now has been fulfilled. So Rashbam and Ramban understand, now has become fulfilled that which Moshe was told about. Hinei anochi sholeach malach lefanecha. The net result of what Rashbam and Ramban say is that there are two distinct periods in Jewish history. There is the time of Moshe Rabbeinu, the time of the Exodus, the time of the great biblical miracles, and the time thereafter. The great biblical miracles weren't meant to last. They weren't meant to accompany us forever. They represent a singular time, a singular generation, singular events, but not something that was supposed to stay with us. The great biblical miracles cannot accompany us forever. In fact, Rabbi Akiva teaches in the Mishnah that despite all those miracles, the generation of the desert does not have a share in the world to come. For despite all those miracles, it didn't make them any more deeply religious. They rebelled repeatedly against God. It seems that miracles don't make us better human beings. They don't make us more pious human beings. They don't make us more religious. They don't make us more ethical. They don't make us more moral. It seems that the miracles were a one-time event, a single intervention in history. The Exodus, the revelation at Sinai, up to the end of the life of Moshe, but no more. In that vein, I would like to recall the very last video which the recently departed Lord Rabbi Jonathan Sacks made, in which he was asked once again what his answer is to the problem of theodicy. Why do good people suffer and bad people thrive? And Rabbi Sacks came to the conclusion that he thinks the reason why there is this problem of theodicy, why we don't have an answer, is because God does not want us to have an answer. If we are to have an answer, then instead of seeing suffering as a call for action, we may fall into complacency. We understand why things are the way they are. There's no reason to act. No, miracles make us complacent. Miracles make us expect more miracles. And that is not the recipe for success. The recipe for success, instead, is to live in this difficult world in which we are free to choose to do very bad things, but also free to choose to do that which is most noble, the most noble human aspirations, where whenever we encounter suffering, whenever we encounter difficulty, whenever we encounter a challenge, we rise to human greatness, help one another, and give one another strength, become resilient. The reason we don't have biblical miracles is because we don't need biblical miracles. What we need instead is to accept responsibility. When we accept responsibility, the miracle which we produce is a sort of shutafut. Just like we are shutafim in Maasev Reshit, we are partners in the creation of the world when we improve the world. When we rise up to the challenge when facing suffering, we become partners in God's miracle of redemption. May we do so, help one another, and accept our responsibilities. Amen.